in the first half. Pass knocked away and almost saved in bounds by Palmer. Nice hustle by Adam.
But you know, Brian, one thing we have not mentioned tonight at all is the defense by New Jersey Tech, and it just seems like they've got each one of their players has two sets of hands. Every time Western Maryland has the ball, there's two players around him. So I think Western Maryland's getting a little hesitant to make the good pass or to take the shot because there's somebody on him just like that.
Double teaming him. And Steele with some problems, but he got help from Elliott. They have played quick defense. They've been in the man-to-man for the most part. And they are just very quick athletes with size.
There's another double team right there.
Pulowski got the help, gave him help. Now he gets it from Welch. Elliott outside. It goes down for Mark Steele. I beg your pardon. Mark from Massachusetts, a 6'4" sophomore. He was wide open and he got the shot. Baseline drive by Pierce. Knocked out of bounds. The last touch by Pierce. And the Green Terrors get the ball.
Well, that took 6 seconds that time.
Above their average. This team just outstanding. They have some starters to replace from last year's team. In fact, 3 or 4 starters did graduate after last season. Jim Catalano is their head coach. His record in 14 years, 271 and 95. New Jersey Tech with a strong, consistent program over the years. And again, 5-1 this year. Green Terror basketball down by 16, 2:15 to play. There's Andrews all over Elliott in the corner. Green Terrors will keep it here. This, by the way, is the first time these two teams have ever played each other, New Jersey Tech and Western Maryland. Again, they got here by winning the first round last night. New Jersey Tech beating Lycoming 94-55, and the Green Terrors beat Wesley by 13. Pulowski, turnaround Jay. He won't get the roll, and a rebound by Alex Jones. Jones wearing the goggles, will push it up quickly. Alley-oop, and the shot won't go. The tip-in couldn't be converted by South. South wants to call a timeout, and he calls it. No, they won't. They won't grant him the timeout. They will call a jump ball, I believe, alternate possession, Western Maryland basketball. Actually, it was Pierce, I believe, who was on the floor. He had nowhere to go. He would have traveled had he tried to move, and he called the timeout. And it wasn't granted. The official called the dual possession before the timeout was called. So the Green Terrors get the basketball, down 16 with 1:55 to go. Now some full-court press by New Jersey, and a travel on the inbounds.
Yeah, they put two guys, two defensive players on the point guard, Jimmy Naughton. And once they finally got it into him, he had trouble getting his feet underneath him. So this pressure is really affecting Western Maryland right now. And they're bad. Western Maryland's back into their man-to-man.
Which I think New Jersey Tech wants. Of course, a couple of starters on the bench now for New Jersey Tech. And a 5-second call. We get a whistle here and play is stopped. There is no problem on the floor. I thought for a second the 5-second call had been given by the official, but I think there's a problem with the clock. Or perhaps a problem on the floor as the official will call over both coaches.
Well, according to what it says now, it's 1:49.
Do you have any idea what this could be about, Pete?
No, I haven't the faintest idea. I thought they were looking at the clock up there, but
yeah.
the clock seems to be working. Unless he heard somebody say something, and he just wants to let both coaches know that something was going on. But I didn't notice anything.
It's been a clean, well-played game so far by both sides.
Doesn't seem to be any tempers flaring or anything. So I don't know what the deal was.
Well, we're back to action here with 1:40 to play in the first half. New Jersey showing some patience now offensively as Clarence Pierce with a drive. Try to get the pass off, but blocked away by Welch. Up ahead now to Steele. Steele all the way with the jam, and the Green Terrors cut it to 14. Mark Steele's first 2.
He got to the foul line in 2 seconds.
Looking for a back door is Jones, and it wasn't there. He'll pull up and take the shot and bank it off the glass. Does he have to call that when he banks it off the glass like that?
On the playground, you're supposed to.
It all counts the same. 41-25. The Green Terrors trail by 16. This is Mark Steele. Gets it over to Welch and knocked from behind, and fouled by, I believe, Alex Jones. That is the foul.
I think one of the things that goes in New Jersey Tech's favor right now, Brian, is that they've got a lot of depth on this team, and they just keep running people in and out. And with their style of basketball and the players that they have, it's probably a perfect fit for them.
Orlando Welch's shot won't go, but the offensive board by Paul Pulowski rejected, however. Huge block by South, who has just played a great half here in the first half. Outside shot goes down. Clarence Pierce buries one from 22 feet. Run and gun basketball, you get the block, the transition, the quickness, and then a three-point play to three-point shot to cap it off.
And then you're up by 19.
36 seconds to play in the half. All New Jersey Tech here in the first half. That was a good point about the depth, Pete, as we get a bad pass from Hatch and the Green Terrors turn it over. The Green Terrors, if they lack something this year, it is depth. They've gone about 7, 8 deep. However, some freshmen did play last night, and they got some productivity out of Gamble, Hatch, and Daniels. But the depth factor, the depth edge certainly goes to New Jersey, which, again, as you said, this running gun style, that really benefits them.
Well, and I think with Western Maryland, they have 2 players out.
2 injured, that's right, 2
Yeah.
injured starters, which takes away their depth.
That's exactly right.
South gets it rejected by Welch, but he gets it back, and the follow won't go. Rebound by Hatch, but he lost it out of bounds, and it's going to be Tech basketball with 8 seconds to go in the half. 44-25 New Jersey Tech in the final round of the Western Maryland Holiday Classic, the first annual Western Maryland Holiday Tournament. Almost picked off by Pulowski. Palmer will square to the basket at the buzzer. The three-point shot is off the mark, and the first half comes to a close as that final shot taken by South wouldn't have counted anyway. And that's how we wrap things up here in the first half from Western Maryland College. New Jersey Tech out rebounding the Green Terrors, just pushing the ball up the floor and shooting pretty well from the outside as well. They've combined all of that, and right now on an 88-point pace as they lead by 19 here at halftime. We'll take a break here from the Gill Center on the campus of Western Maryland College in Westminster. There's your score, New Jersey Tech 44, Western Maryland 25. It's halftime, and we'll come back right after this. Halftime wrapping up here at Western Maryland College. The Green Terrors trailing by 19 points, 44-25, as we get set now for the second half between the New Jersey Tech Highlanders and the Western Maryland College Green Terrors. Brian McLean and Pete Litchka checking first half stats. Team stats, Western Maryland 12 of 29 from the field, where New Jersey Tech was 18 of 41. 3-point shots, Tech 7 for 17. Western Maryland 1 of 7. Rebounds, a big story, as the offensive rebounds a big factor. 16 of New Jersey Tech's 25 rebounds coming on the offensive glass. They've out-rebounded Western Maryland 25-9 in total numbers. That's been the big key of the game so far. Turnovers pretty even. The Green Terrors with 8, New Jersey Tech with 6. Free throws, not many foul shots taken. Tech is 1 of 3. Western Maryland has yet to attempt a free throw. Pierce 12 points, Palmer 11 points, South 9 points. Leading scorers for Tech. Welch has 10, Young has 5 for Western Maryland. Second half underway. Tech basketball. They lead again 44-25, and a turnover here is taken away by Welch up ahead to Naughton. Naughton with the layup, and it's wild. It's off the mark. The tip-in follow by Naughton wouldn't go, but it's last touched by a Highlander, and Western Maryland College will get the basketball.
Well, I think he made a little inexperienced mistake there. He should have just gone right to the basket and laid it in, and if he'd have gotten it blocked, they probably would have called a foul.
Naughton needs some help and gets it from Travis Gamble. Gamble on the floor, one of those freshmen we talked about earlier. The right-handed shot's a bit short, but Orlando Welch skies for the tip-in and the follow.
No, that was a good move there to use the head fake there, because I think that New Jersey likes to try to block shots. So Nick has always been one of these coaches that has worked on, you know, using your head fake, pump once, pump twice, and go up in the third, and that's exactly what happened in that possession.
Naughton, Gamble, Pulowski, Welch, and Young on the floor now for the Green Terrors to start the second half. This is Andrews. Hatch on the floor, I beg your pardon. It's Austin Hatch instead of Travis Gamble. One of the starting 5 in the second half. Here's the shot, and it goes for Andrew South. South has just had a great tournament. Leads his team in rebounds with 8 a game, and he's certainly shown why today. We have a foul here away from the basketball. This will go against New Jersey Tech. Adam Palmer trying to get position, trying to fight for position with Paul Pulowski. That's his second foul. First team foul of the second half, and the Green Terrors have the basketball. Pulaski gets the feed from Naughton, tries to go over South. The shot's a bit short, gets the ball back somehow. Follow-up shot's now off the mark. Gets it back again. This time it's rejected from behind by Jones. New Jersey Tech gets it, but a pass through the hands and out of bounds. Jones couldn't handle it. And Western Maryland wanted the foul call under the basket, but they'll get the ball anyway.
Well, Western Maryland being very aggressive on the offensive boards to start the second half, which is a good sign. But they've got to convert on those. 3
opportunities, something's got to drop. We'll see what they do here. Trailing by 19, 46-27. Andrews all over Naughton. Rolando Welch, the junior. Passes an errant one, not touched by Andrews South. I thought South knocked it, and now the official changes his call. It's going to be Green Terror basketball. Nick Zulius leaping off the bench, as you might have seen in the lower right corner of your screen.
Well, I think the top official knew that and was just waiting for the other official to say something, and they switched it.
Pat Young will pop the tray. It's a little short. Rebound comes out to Alex Jones. Andrews feeds Pierce, or Palmer rather. Palmer.
There's Palmer again, right on that block there off the fast break. He's making a living out of that tonight.
Palmer's had a lot of shots, a lot of high percentage shots dropped down for him tonight. His team leads by 21, 48-27. Now Hatch being guarded by Andrews. Naughton, it's really tough for him to see over Palmer, trying to find some help inside. Now a travel call is assessed against Hatch, and the Green Terrors turn it over. That's something that the Green Terrors need to work on too. Sometimes they get into a situation, some turnovers are unforced.
Well, I think that has a lot to do with New Jersey's defense.
Yeah.
Is that some of the players in Western Maryland are almost afraid to do anything because somebody's going to block a shot or get a hand on the ball.
Andrews had a notion from 3, pulls up from 13. It's off the mark. Offensive board again. This time Andrews gets it back in the left corner, penetrates past Pulaski. South and Pulaski battle for the rebound. Pulaski pulls it down. Tries to get it to Young, but it's taken away by Clarence Pierce. Palmer for 3. Yes! Adam Palmer from St. Petersburg, Florida. And they have popped the trays here in the first half. Western Maryland calls a timeout. That's Nick Zulius' 3rd timeout, so that leaves him with just 1 remaining as things start to get away from his team here in the second half. We'll take a timeout from the Gill Center. 17:06 to play in this ball game. New Jersey Tech leading by 24. Not much to really say. I'm ready.
Palmer's tough.
New Jersey Tech getting some instructions from Coach James Catalano, Randy Lassiter, Thomas Riley, and Barlow Taylor, his assistant coaches. Tech in command here by 24, 51-27. And the Green Terrors just being outmanned physically with some size and also with team speed, as Tech has had both of those things tonight.
Well, they're just dominating the whole floor right now, and their pressure is hurting. Even if they're not getting steals, their pressure is hurting the Western Maryland guards as they bring it up. And Western Maryland misses a shot. New Jersey comes down and within a few seconds pops a 3 or hits Palmer cutting to the basket.
Like you said, they've been scoring in 5, 6, 7 seconds. Here's Hatch, the freshman. The shot is short. Rebounded by Alex Jones. And again, here they go, pushing it up the floor.
And they had Palmer. There's Palmer again.
Out to Andrews. Palmer, who's been red hot here in the second half. Palmer 5 of 7, in fact, from three-point land. For 5 of the 7 points coming here in the second half. Naughton drives the baseline, and he'll see if it goes. Yes, it does. Jimmy Naughton. The ball hang on the rim for a minute and a half, and he'll get a 3-point play opportunity.
You got to practice that, you know. I mean, that shot just doesn't come naturally.
Jimmy Naughton has seen limited time this year. He's been in 5 games, but he only started 1 of them, averaging about 1 point a game. Again, he's seen limited action. His game best was 4 against Marymount. He has played, though, a lot more since the injury to Scott Lyon. Lyon injured his finger in the Franklin and Marshall game. Naughton buries the free throw, gets the 3-point play. It's 51-30. Jeff Roberto into the game. He played a pretty good first half off the bench. Palmer, Andrews, South, and Jones on the floor. And Jones takes this shot, and he's fouled from behind by Paul Pawlowski.
Well, we finally got to see what they run on offense when they have to set it up, and it's the old flex offense. They have back picks and down screens, and it's just a continuation from side to side. And if you don't pay attention, you're going to get back picked, and somebody's going to get a layup like this guy almost did.
Alex Jones from Elizabeth, New Jersey, a 6'4" junior, will get 2 free throws here as his first one doesn't go. New Jersey Tech, all of their players but one from New Jersey, as we said earlier. In fact, Jones, Pleasant, who comes off the bench, and Donald Stewart were teammates at Elizabeth, New Jersey High School. 52-30, New Jersey Tech by 22. Hatch being guarded by Palmer, now Naughton being guarded by Roberto. Orlando Welch pulls up. He's been kept pretty quiet here offensively in the second half. Rebound by Andrews. Again, they push it up. Near steal by Naughton, who goes down hard. Roberto pulls up, takes the tray. It won't go. Palmer with the offensive board. His follow too strong off the glass. Now Jones kicks it out to Roberto and back into Andrews' hands. And they'll set it up again. Shot clock at 35. That has not been a factor tonight. Jones' turnaround shot won't go. Palmer's follow won't go. He gets it back, however. Another follow won't go, but a foul is going to be called. And Palmer looks upset.
I think he's more upset at himself than I don't think he was fouled particularly hard. He just had 2-3 times that he could have put the ball in there, and he just didn't get it done. But he's going to the line.
Foul was on Orlando Welch of Western Maryland. Palmer coming into this game averaging 7 rebounds a game. He is third on the team in scoring, averaging 15 points a game. And from the foul line this year, he is 83%. So off to a fine start in the first 6 games in 92-93. New Jersey Tech 5-1 with wins over Yeshiva, Manhattanville, Stevens Tech, and Staten Island. And their lone loss coming to sunny Stonebrook, 80-69. That was their last game before this tournament. Again, they won last night by a bunch over Lycoming, 94-55. Palmer gets his second free throw, 54-30. The Highlanders lead the Green Terrors with 15:37 to play in this one. Now full court pressure from New Jersey. They backed off from that for the most part tonight, and the Green Terrors beat it here. And Young is wide open from three-point land, but a bit much on the shot as South pulls down the board.
Well, Western Maryland's only getting one look at the basket the last couple minutes. They've been rushing their shots and getting one look, and that's it.
Almost a 5-second here is Pat Young guarding Andrews pretty well. Now Naughton on Kelly, or Roberto, excuse me. This might be the longest New Jersey's held a basketball all night.
Geez, we're down to 10 seconds almost.
That's a first tonight. Palmer, by the way, has 18 points and 7 rebounds. Here's Jones, drives the baseline. What a move by Alex Jones. He's also from Elizabeth, New Jersey, coming into tonight's game averaging 6 points a contest. Hatch, the freshman, guarded by Palmer. Takes a shot over Palmer, but it's partially blocked, but Welch gets it for Western Maryland, and he's hammered by Jones. Or this could go on South. We'll wait and see what the official says. Foul is on South, and Orlando Welch gets 2 free throws. I'll tell you, Pete, if you are Western Maryland, you got to go to Orlando Welch. Here's a guy that's been just on fire lately. 26 points, 19 rebounds against Marymount this past Monday. The Dickinson game, he was in double figures in both categories. He's their go-to guy, and they got to find him. They got to get into basketball here in the second half.
Well, but I don't think he can do it all by himself.
Sure.
And I think as other teams see this against Western Maryland, they might even start putting 2 players on Orlando Welch and make some of these other guards shoot the ball and prove that they can make those shots.
Welch has been pretty quiet here offensively in the second half. Again, Orlando coming into tonight's game averaging 23 points a game. His game best 29 against Marymount. And from the foul line this year, 63%. He has 14 points tonight. His team down by 24. The Green Terrors got to get back. Shot is off the mark by John Green into the game now. Welch pulls it down. The Green Terrors want to run a 3-on-3 pass behind Naughton. He goes down, and we get a whistle. And the Green Terrors take a timeout. So end-to-end action once again. And Jimmy Naughton was in trouble, and the Green Terrors take a timeout. We'll take a timeout also here from the Gill Center. Final round action of the Western Maryland Holiday Classic, sponsored by the Carroll County Sports Medicine and Rehab Center. 14-15 to play in this one, and the Green Terrors trail by 24. Five of 7, that's second half, right? Okay, I didn't read the whole thing. Sorry about that. Pardon me.
What'd you say, 5 of 7?
5 of his 7 points in the game have come in the second half. I misread the note that Todd gave me. I'm ready for you, Jeffrey. The Green Terrors find themselves on the short end of a 56-32 score. Brian McLean and Pete Litchka. Pete Litchka, if you've been following local basketball for the last 30 years, no, not quite that long. Last 12, 13, 15 years, you've seen and read and heard Pete's voice or seen him on TV or what have you the last couple of years. Pete Litchka, the former basketball coach at North Carroll, will join us for several telecasts this winter. Boys basketball and men's basketball from Western Maryland. Green Terrors turn it over here. They want to push it up, does New Jersey Tech. Andrews over to Green. He'll slow things down here a bit. New Jersey Tech by 24. And really, Tech, they've been running all night, but there's no point in doing it now. They don't have to. Of course, they'll push it up from time to time. There's the back door to Andrews, and a nice shot, but a good assist from Jones.
Yeah, they were setting that up early in the possession. You could see that one was coming.
Hey, it shows how dimensional they are as a team. I mean, they've been running gun all night, but when they have to go to the half-court offense, that's looked very good also.
Exactly.
Hatch driving, gets double-teamed at the foul line, stripped away, but Welch gets the loose ball and the basket off the glass. Rolando Welch give him 16, 58-34. The Green Terrors trail by 24. Andrews will take the shot, blocked by Pulowski. The Green Terrors.
Give it up.
2-on-1. Here's Naughton with the dish from Young, and a foul goes down for Jimmy Naughton. Green Terrors cut it to 22. First real nice transition basket the Green Terrors have had. Now a nice pass to South, who jams it home, but he's going to be called for the technical for hanging on the rim. You cannot hang on the rim as New Jersey Tech pleads their case. What a pass, behind the back pass by, I believe, Jones, and South hung on the rim. The basket will count, but a technical foul is going to be called, and the Green Terrors will get 2 free throws plus possession. You can't hang on the rim. It's that
Seems
simple.
to me I've seen somebody hang on the rim in college basketball.
Well, the center here is fairly new. They want to keep everything in good shape. They don't want to mess up any rims or backboards. Rolando Welch gets 2 free throws at the foul line. Again, this year 63.2% coming into this tournament. Rolando Welch from the Maryland area. In fact, he is from Silver Spring. That's right. Gets both free throws. Rolando Welch went to Bethesda Chevy Chase High School, where a lot of great athletes turn out year in and year out in several sports down there. Western Maryland down by 22. Welch tonight 4 of 4 from the line, 18 points. Outside shot is off the mark, rebounded by Andrews. Now Tech wants to push it up, leading 60-38. Andrews with the drive. The right-handed shot won't go. Tip in by South won't go. And pulled down by Travis Gamble. Gamble on the floor along with Jeff Daniels, Jimmy Naughton, Rolando Welch, and Pat Young. 12:30 to play. All alone is Gamble, and he gets the layup off the glass.
Nice look.
Somebody sleeping on the New Jersey Tech defense.
Well, when he made that spin move, the guy guarding him, I think, fell down, and Travis went right to the basket, which was a good move.
Foul away from the basket on Western Maryland's Travis Gamble. That's his first personal foul. Foul's not a story here tonight. Nobody's in foul trouble. We have just 3 team fouls apiece in the second half. And as we said, in the first half, only 3 foul shots were taken the entire 20 minutes. Trigger man here is going to be Jason Connick. Had to get it in, and New Jersey Tech dodges a bullet there. Now back to South. Can't get the shot, however. Blows an easy one there. Gamble with the board momentarily, and he's fouled. Foul was on South. Andrew South.
Well, we still have time, Brian, although it doesn't look that good. If you can get it under 10 with a few minutes to go, then you got yourself a ball game. So this might be the, if they're going to make a run, I think they're going to have to make it now and get it under double figures.
Clarence Pierce checks back in. He started tonight, but hasn't seen a whole lot of action. Lamont Pleasant, number 32, also comes in for the first time for New Jersey Tech. Pat Young now had a notion from 3, but a nice dish off of Orlando Welch, who finishes it off. 60-42, the Green Terrors down by 18. Again, Tech pushes it up. Now a three-point shot taken for the first time in a while by Clarence Pierce. Loose basketball and into the hands of Pleasant, but his shot won't go, and Jimmy Naughton gets it for the Green Terrors.
Ever since Adam Palmer went out of the game, whoops, there he goes.
They'll be
just
coming
going
back
to say,
in.
as soon as he went out of the game, everything started to slow down a little bit.
It's a great point. Pat Young, who's been kind of quiet in the second half, pulls up from 3 and he buries it. Pat Young from Baltimore went to Mount St. Joe High School, and he gets the tray.
I hear they're on a run now.
Now the tray answered by Andrews. You can't really take the momentum away from him for too long. Orlando Welch slowly brings the ball down the floor. We're at the 11-minute mark now. Coming up after the game, the all-tournament team will be announced. A player from each team will be selected, plus an MVP. Local media, including Pete and myself, will be voting on that team coming up after the game. Andrews' pass taken away by Welch, and the Green Terrors will do it again.
Rolando looks tired.
He sure does. I was just going to say the same thing, and I think he's going to be spelled soon by Jingaleski as he's played most of this game. Naughton almost has his pocket picked by Andrews. Now gets it out to Welch. Welch from 14, off the back of the iron. Dalton gets it back, saves it for Young. Young will pop the tray, and it's off the back of the iron again. Now Gamble's behind the back pass through the hands of Daniels, who I don't think was expecting it. And the Green Terrors turn it over. Jingaleski checks in, Welch checks out, Palmer checks back in for New Jersey Tech. John Green will take a seat.
Just when you think it's getting close and you can start to make a run, two big mistakes there. He probably should have just gone to the basket with the ball.
Pat Young, by the way, has his 2 of 9 so far tonight from three-point land. And Pat Young certainly has the ability to score. He hasn't quite clicked this year yet, averaging 9 points a game, but better days are ahead for that young man. He's only a sophomore from Mount St. Joe.